Hello and welcome to Emotional Intelligence. I'm your host, Victoire Chilufya. Today we dive into a very real discussion which we are calling distraction. How does it affect our emotions, our focus, and our relationship? To help us unpack today's discussion, I am joined by Clara Nkando from Health Planet. Clara, welcome to Emotional Intelligence program.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so today we are looking at a very interesting topic called distraction. Now, there are times that you might be having a presentation. So maybe let's say you are conducting a workshop. Then amongst your participants, maybe somebody's playing with the pen as you are doing the presentation. So don't you get distraction? Don't you get distracted? So before you answer that question, first we would love to find out what does distraction mean, and yes, how does it relate with emotional intelligence?
Okay, so to start with, I really love this topic because it's closer to home, coming from Health Planet, which is an organization which focuses on mental health awareness and mental health literacy. So when it comes to the issues of distraction, it's something that obviously happens in our day-to-day life. The virtue of us being human, obviously, we're easily distracted by certain things, but the level at which your emotional intelligence is matters how easily you can get distracted. So in a situation where you say, a scenario you gave, you're giving a presentation, and then somebody is there playing with the phone, I would urge everybody to at least try, by all means, to take an emotional intelligence test, so that you know whether you are, is it high, is it low? If somebody is of high emotional intelligence, things like somebody playing with the phone or making sounds as they're doing their presentation wouldn't be much of a problem to them. And if you know that your emotional intelligence is low, things like somebody doing one or two things during your presentation will be a problem to you. So in my situation, because I'm emotionally aware of my emotions and habits during certain things, I'm not easily distracted. So it all depends on the level of one's emotional intelligence.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you say that distraction is just about losing focus, or does it run deeper than emotionally?
Well, I think it's a two-way thing.
Okay.
But in all, I think it goes deeper than just distraction. There's a whole lot of things that it goes deeper than losing focus. There's a whole lot of things that cause distraction. Sometimes it's habits that we have. Haven't you ever come across people that suck their thumbs or play with their ear? So that is a natural habit that maybe sometimes it's inherited, sometimes it's copied from the other person. So a person that has certain habits, when it comes to distraction, it's very easy for them to get distracted or to lose focus, either during a conversation or in class. I mean, we can be here and I'm there sucking my thumb. My mind is elsewhere, but you can be telling me something and I just will not be here because I'm distracted by a habit or other things. So it's, yeah.
Okay. So like there's, at times maybe you might be in church and maybe a priest is preaching. Then from nowhere, somebody just walks in, putting on heels.
And the sound.
Yes, the sound. Then people just get distracted like that.
That is possible, of course, but we should always keep in mind, if you go to church, what business are we doing there? Why are we there in the first place? Why did you wake up in the morning to go to church? Of course, you went to pray. So if somebody comes in heels, it's normal for someone to, stare and see, but that shouldn't be your area of focus. Your area of focus should be on what you are really there for. So again, it takes you back to how aware are you with your emotions? How in control are you with your intelligence, emotional intelligence? So that should be the key.
Okay, talking about how aware are you, can someone recognize when they are emotionally distracted or not pre-copied?
I think if you pay attention to it, you can tell.
Okay.
But mostly when it comes to distraction, we don't get to see it, but other people get to see it. For instance, if somebody is going through certain issues and you think to yourself, I need to distract myself from this. And then you decide to just find a distraction. I don't know what sort of a distraction you're going to find. Others find comfort in alcohol, others drugs, or just doing random stuff. Others would find a hobby to do that. But you have to, I think it keeps taking me back to being aware of yourself. So sometimes if somebody notices something in you, and I tell you, Victoria, I think you have issues of focus. Whenever we're having a conversation, you miss out the most important items because you easily get distracted.
What if they say that they are maybe mentally preoccupied?
That is a possibility, but then again, what is occupying your mind mentally? What is occupying your mind? So there's some things that we ignore and some things that we don't ignore. Let me just refer this to the Johari window. There's a window that says, I don't know, you know. So these are things that people know about you that you don't know about yourself, you're not aware of. So if I come to you or rather if you come to me and tell me, you know, Clara, whenever we're talking, we would have a conversation or something would happen, and then a few days later I would be narrating that incident to somebody else, and you miss out like the most important thing because you're maybe distracted with your phone or the environment around you. I'm not supposed to take offense. I'm supposed to take that seriously because you have noticed something I don't know about myself. So being aware sometimes, if you don't know how distracted you are, or you want to know the level at which you easily get distracted, I think I'd advise you ask people around you, the people that you spend most of your time with, to say, do I easily get distracted? Am I usually preoccupied or with thoughts? And then from there, you know how to help me out. And if you come to me and tell me, you know what, Clara, sometimes you'd be here, would be having something, your mind is just not there, or would ask you to do something, then you won't do it because you are preoccupied. Then I'll learn to work around that which you've told me. So the best way to be aware of how occupied you are or how distracted you can be is either yourself, you think through yourself, or you assess yourself, but I would advise you actually ask someone, people around you that you spend most of your time with, so that you know at the level at which you're easily distracted.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would you say that some parents would distract their children with choosing their career?
Of course. And parents, please stop. Okay, I know parents want the best for us, especially back in the days when you're young. I don't know how it just happened. I'm just going to do those poems. When I grow up, I want to be, you know, teachers, even before we get to parents, teachers will tell you what you should say.
I would love to know, most of the times would say, I want to be this. Like how many of us are doing what we wanted in the first. Because some people would tell you to say, I was distracted by my parents and I was told to say, for you, this is what you need to study, not what you thought you would, study.
In most Zambian contexts, people will say like, it will depend on my grade 12 results.
Oh. Okay.
Most people would say that, like, what do you want to be when you, I don't know, maybe when the results come out, it's others will say financial issues.
Challenges.
My parents stable enough to sponsor me for the program that I want to do. So initially, parents do have play a huge role when it comes to career changes, and they'll distract you from what you really want. But there is this person, Amberly, she's a fashion designer. Best believe the mom didn't want anything to do with what she wanted to do. So even before she got to college, when she was in high school, she would make up clothes, cut up materials. When she buys something big, she's going to adjust and make it smaller and stuff. When she was done with school, they told her to apply for nursing. Oh no, we have connection for teachers college. Oh no, there's a connection in the army. Don't you want to apply? And whenever she was applying, she would always cite the same prayer: Lord, please let them not pick me. Not that she was not qualified. She was qualified, but she didn't really want to. So the mom would push and push and push her to do all these things. And whenever she never used to say no, but whenever she was applying, she'd always say, God, let them not pick me. And of course, I guess her prayers were answered because she was not picked. And at the end of the day, she just told them, let me just try to do what I really want to do. So someone said, let her try. And she applied at Evelyn Horn, the School of Fashion and Design and Entrepreneurship. And she did 3 years of the course. And now she's doing great for herself. She's not just a tailor. She's a fashion designer who travels, who makes things for. So at the end of the day, the parents realized this is what she wanted. And she's doing it. And she's making serious money compared to that of a nurse or a teacher, and she doesn't regret having followed her heart. But sometimes we might want something that will harm us at the end of the day, and parents know best. But then again, look at the child's interests. What does she really want before you distract her from doing what that she really wishes to do? Yeah.
So she managed to distract the parents and not the parents distracting her. Can distraction affect our abilities to connect with ourselves?
Yeah, depends, actually. There's a good type of distraction and a bad type of distraction. So just to sum it up, the good type of distraction works best for people who are aware of their emotional intelligence. Again, back to the high and the low.
So which one is the good distraction?
So the good distraction, I'll say, for instance, you are going through maybe grief, and you keep yourself in the corner constantly crying about this person that you've lost, and you feel like your life is literally over. So you find yourself, if I keep doing this to myself, I will not build myself. I'm just destroying myself. Life goes on. So let me try to find a good distraction to get my mind off of this. So others would use that as a way of acquiring a new skill. Maybe you go and acquire a new skill. Let me just try to this. Maybe let me learn how to do makeup. As you are learning, experimenting on yourself and on others, that skill eventually brings you money. That's a good distraction. Or let me go back to school and study and upgrade my studies. Maybe you have a diploma. So let me go to a degree or a master's degree so that I get my mind occupied with something that's not taking me back to this person that I've lost. That's a good type of distraction, and that usually happens to people who are emotionally who are aware of their emotional intelligence, and that's the high. But if your emotional intelligence is low, you find the negative type of distractions. Constantly, even when it's during the week, you want to go out and do this and that.
No, you're supposed to be in the office.
Others will be like, no, let me just sleep. And then you can't find sleep. What do? You find something to make you sleep, a sleeping pill. And you get addicted to that. Eventually, it becomes harmful to your life rather than building your life. So you have to know what type of distraction it is. Maybe if I think if I were to notice you are maybe going through certain things, I can come in to distract you from that. I would call you.
But nowadays, do we have people that would check up on others? I feel everybody is just so busy. Sometimes even when I saw somebody posting on somebody's status. So this one posted to say, she posted herself on the status. Then somebody commented to say, you look nice. Then she just went like, I don't have money. So, sometimes when you communicate with other people, they would feel to say, maybe they want to ask for something.
For something from you.
So I feel people have become busy.
Everybody is busy. That is true. I think that's where the element of opening up comes in. You're going through certain things, and you just want to distract yourself from that particular thing, but you don't know what it is. Identify people around you that you can call to say, okay, I'm going through this, and I just need some sort of a distraction from this whole thing. There are some people who are definitely people like me. I'll come through. I'll call. Maybe I should invite you for lunch at some time, or maybe we should go to a park, or just something, or a movie. To just get your mind off of that. So I think it should also be a homework to yourself as you go home. Just try to reflect, look around you. Which person do you think I can be a positive distraction to in life? Maybe somebody's going through certain things. It can be a heartbreak. I have to take it differently. Or financial issues. People are really broke, maybe due to debt or just not having enough source of income. Even just a simple conversation, just come in and say, Clara, can I just have a chat with you, outside whatever it is that I'm going through? That is a good distraction. Others use social media, but again, how are you using social media as a distraction? So it all just matters. Yeah.
Okay, so dear viewers, if you are distracted, just remember to call upon Clara. She'll take you out for a movie. So how does distraction impact our relationship with others?
Again, it's got its pros and its cons. So I think everything in life has its... Is there anything that is just straightforward? Apart from religion, obviously. The majority of things have their pros and cons. So how best can you balance your relation with others and distraction? So sometimes we're too preoccupied with things. Others decide...
So let me give an example of... like I said at first, to say people are too busy nowadays. So a long time ago, we are told to say, we'd eat as a family. But nowadays, it's different. Everyone would, there is what we call food homers nowadays. So they would serve the food in there. So when you feel like eating, you go and eat. So, yeah. it's coming to that.
So also that's one of the examples that I was going to use to say, even in a home, no matter how busy you are, just find time to maybe just supper, especially supper. Lunch, I know people are at work and all, but supper are literally home, like you've all come home. I don't know, unless those that work shifts. If you're if everybody is home, find time to just sit, you know, catch up on how your day was on the table, you know, just try to eat with your family and all. I know people are busy, you mentioned, but you're never too busy to want to catch up with a friend. So I think that's one of the examples I was going to give. And then the other one would definitely have to be a phone call. Since everybody's busy, buy minutes. Do it. Even during work, as you're coming from home on a bus, call somebody, just catch up, you know. Video calls, there's a list of video calls now. You can video chat with somebody. I think everybody's busy, but you can always at least find time to just catch up on one, because you don't know, everybody's going through a lot.
True.
And you don't know what source of distraction they're using to forget what they're going through. So make use of that phone for the good.
Okay. All right. So in your own opinion, is emotional distraction something we are experiencing more often in today's society?
I think so. Life lately is so busy. It's not the way it was back in the days. People would never sit, like you mentioned, never sit on a dining table, eat together, or just visit a friend and sit the whole day and chat. People have so much going on. And then there's this issue of social media. There's too much unnecessary pressure and peer pressure that's coming from the social media. So I think now people have more distractions than before because of the happenings of the world. Yeah.
All right, thank you. What role does social media, talking about social media, what role does social media and technology play in emotional distraction?
Again, it depends on how you want to take it either way. So it's a good distraction when you're going through certain things. Others say, no, I was so sad the moment I opened TikTok, and now I'm like laughing and I've forgotten about my problems. So if you are going through stuff and you need a distraction, look for positive stuff, positive videos. You know, TikTok has some people that just post funny things. You know, I was going to mention a few, but hey, it's not a paid advert. There are going to be people that are going to just post funny things and just laugh at memes. You know, there's issue of memes nowadays. Like if you find something that's going to, I think the power is in our hands. If you're going to find something that's going to, you know, remind you of what you're trying to distract yourself from, you can always just swipe and find something that's going to be entertaining. People now have movies, the issues of Netflix, or just documentaries. Just find something positive to use for the social media platform. But if you are a type, I have a problem with you, and I feel I need to reach out to her, and then I go to social media and post things as a distraction, or make videos ranting that is like in relation to what misunderstanding we had between the two of us, then I'm using the wrong type of distraction for social media. So also it comes to how you're using social media as a distraction. Is it for the good or for the bad? And most importantly, I think it's a good distraction in so many ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think distraction also affects our decision making and self-awareness?
Yeah. Yes, it does. Others are so quick. Have you ever come across somebody that says, I think when you're making a decision, think through. How is it going to benefit me? People are so quick at choosing what should be their distraction before they could think through or process what outcome might be. So I think it
does.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Any example that you can give, or somebody that you've come across that they failed to make their own decision because of distraction?
I think I'll give an example of myself. It once happened to me back in college. So the issue of roommates, you know, you don't know, you are used having the same roommate, and then eventually you don't. So she had gone for attachments, and I was alone in school. So I really wanted to, you know, like, there are different types of hostels. So there are those that had 3 in one room, and those that had 2 in a room. So I was used like being in a room with 2 people. And then because my roommate was on attachments, I decided, okay, maybe let me go to the one that has 3 in the room. So I made a decision based off of the way I view people. I was like, these people look like they're bookworms, you know, they're always, you know, up their game. So I think I'm going to go with them. But they weren't doing my program. So it didn't benefit me. I said no to somebody that was doing my program. So when you have like tests and assignments, it was hard for me to actually ask help from those because they're doing different programs. So because I just thought, oh, they're book smart, they're known to be smart, but they weren't doing my program. So we don't really think through, like, before we make a decision, think through, like, what is this going to benefit me? Is this will be of good distraction or bad distraction? So yeah, it does affect if you don't think through properly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever experienced this, because for me, I would say I get distracted during exams where I go early and begin to study with other people. I feel distracted because you know what you've studied. Then somebody else begins to say something else
that you
Sometimes
didn't even touch.
you plan to say, this is what I'm going to study. Then other people say, no, let's study this. So somehow I feel distracted during exams to go and study from school. I would rather study from home than when there's an hour to go for exams, then maybe that's when I think of starting off. Then I don't want to be studying when I'm on the bus. I feel like I begin to forget what
you had studied before.
Yes. So I feel distraction has so much to play in our lives.
And there's also distraction after the exams. In the situation where you are from writing exams and then you're discussing answers. So now, your friends tell you what they wrote that you didn't write, not even close to what the answer was. It's going to affect your next paper because you start thinking of, you be distracted. Say, my friends, I had put 37, but the answer is 12. You know, like the difference is just way too much. So back to the example that you've given, it's a very good example actually. And also know yourself. There's some people that study an hour before exam and ace it, and then there are people who break the whole night for them to understand. So know what worked for you. You can't study maybe 12 topics and then you get there, the 3 topics you left is what your friends are discussing, and then you focus on that. You forget exactly about what you're studying, only to find that what you studied the whole night is what has come. So understand what works for you and don't easily get distracted by that. Don't get attracted, no, because somebody says this topic is going to come and I didn't touch it. It's a last minute, teach me. You forget what you studied before. Yeah, distractions come in so many ways where decision making is concerned. It just depends with what you want to settle for. But again, run through and see the pros and cons of that decision before you make it.
All right. So, Clara, your last word as we come to the end of the program.
Well, I'll take it back to understanding your emotional intelligence. Where do you lie? Where does it fall? Those that have a high emotional intelligence easily handle distraction well because they are aware of what works for them and what does not work for them. And those that have low emotional intelligence easily get distracted by things. So understand yourself. Know yourself. Where do I lie? Am I on the high part? Am I on the low part? Also, what am I choosing as a form of distraction? Is it for the good or for the bad? Is it benefiting me? Is it going to destroy me? Because everything has a good and a bad. So be aware of your emotional intelligence and know where you lie.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
All right. So our dear viewers, hope you have been inspired and hope you have learned more on how you can, how distraction gets to affect emotional intelligence. So until we meet again, my name's Victoire Chilufya. Join us again next week, same place, same time.